Hello everybody, and welcome back to Dodgeland. My name is Steven Marcateros, and we are back in Planet Coaster to take a look at some of the work that we've done and to construct an ultimate coaster. Yes, I have made the ultimate YouTuber mistake of this episode by, forgetting to hit the record button on the episode, which only drives me a little bit crazy about 100% of the time when it actually ends up happening. So yeah, we've made a lot of edits in this last 30 minutes that I have not made any talks about. And so I will try to continue with them right this second. So right here, we have Red Glory. Yes, submitted by username nightmare_123456. Or sorry, 1234563, I should say. He said that I should name this coaster the Red Glory, and I should name the other one the Tiger. And I have actually gone through with these names. These were the best ones in my opinion. So, make sure to always drop a comment right down below if you ever want to say something, because I could mention your username in a YouTube video, and if you want to get a little bit of shout out, that's your one way to get a shout out. If you actually ask explicitly for a shout out, that's the way you don't get a shout out. So yeah, our coasters are doing pretty well, but they are indeed aging. And so what I decided to do was to undertake a humongous research project of developing and researching a crap ton of brand new things, such as the no, actually, we just did that, I thought. Yeah, some new coasters. We got the Canyon Runner, we got the Forge, the Hammer Swing. We unlocked a bunch of brand new things, and last episode I went through and constructed Hammer Swing 2. I say the last episode as in the episode that I forgot to record. So yes, in this last little bit here, I was able to record I was able to build this ride. And it's nice and open. We got a nice 60% Q scenery rating. What I did was I primarily went through and just placed down a bunch of bushes, tried to give it a little bit of a mine theme, so to speak, and, did some fancy lighting that you'll be able to see at night, and placed down the sort of out-of-theme wind pump, which I think looks pretty cool just on its own. Alright. Another thing that I did was I went through and actually decided to build a little bit on the central area by adding a little pond and some bushes, albeit we still do have this gigantic thing too. And I also had about 100 million notifications saying that we had litter all over the park, and apparently my janitor quit because he hates me, which is terrible. I should really quit my job. This is the worst job ever. I pay these people quite a bit of money. We got 45 grand now. We've really been building up. One of the things that we did before I actually go back to fixing that staff issue was we went and we terrained the land a little bit to try and make it look much more realistic, because nowhere has a perfectly flat, meteorite smooth area to build upon. Alright, so let's take a look at our current staff situation. So yes, it looks like our actual trained janitor left his job. So let's train the other one and begin to pay him like a ridiculous amount of money, because it's pretty bad when we keep losing janitors, especially when people complain that our park is ridiculously dirty, which is something that we've been trying to work on considerably over this past little bit. There's another really awesome comment that was left on the video. Just got an email there. There was another really awesome comment left on the video by let's see, username Stinky Ben Cow. Actually, that's not the last video. Sorry, that was episode 3. That's the video before the decorating video that we just recently done. And his comment is, the next coaster should go around the park's underbrush and overpass to add to the overall look of the park area, and not just the look of the coasters area. And you know what? I agree. That is a fantastic idea, because a lot of these coasters that we've been building just simply go around their own little individual coaster area, and the public crowd doesn't really get to see them. I mean, from the paths, let me go into guest view a little bit here. I mean, you can sort of see the things a little bit, but the closest you can get to this one is to just look at that from that kind of depressing little angle. And from this one is to see it from this little area here. When in reality, this is a really beautiful thing to be looking at, if you could stand right next to it. And if we can have this going through the center of our park, not only would it be easier for us to get that high scenery rating that we're looking for, but it will also do greatly to just make the park look like an actual realistic theme park, since that stuff actually does happen in real life. And that's one of the things I am most impressed about in this game. This is actually starting to shape up to look like a real theme park. It's starting to look like something that could actually be constructed by Six Flags. It's just an amazing feeling that I get, and I really enjoy that. What if we place this sort of kind of like off the beaten path, sort of over here? See, we don't have a whole lot of rides built over here, which worries me, but we need to start somewhere. So with 45 grand, I think starting a ride over here would not harm us in any way. Let's get the 45 and then equal it out and level it here. And I think it might be at a tie with our other coaster for tallest coaster in the park. But that's fine, because we want this to basically run around and get just a humongous amount of speed. Okay, and come on, Auto Tunnel, work with me here. Work with me. It's this path. It's this darned path right here. Okay. I have to click and drag delete path. Oh my god. Okay, we deleted a lot of that. Of course, that wasn't really built into stone yet, so we'll rebuild that around. That was a little bit more intense of a tool than I thought it would be. That was kind of terrifying. And I see why it's hard to actually build these things now, because I was not expecting the sheer difficulty of that, and it also does look pretty darn crazy. But I guess it's realistic. I mean, that's got very few supports on it considering what it actually is. So let's just test it right now. Let's run a test and see what it looks like. Obviously, it has a pretty darn big hill on it, which is what we need. All right, and let's see just how ridiculously crazy this is so far. Okay. All right. So there we go down. Building up that velocity. Awesome. Nice in that underground tunnel. Okay, we are sailing above the park now. And there we go. All right, so yeah, we have plenty of velocity on that, so we gotta just continue editing. And maybe this is where we can do a nice big loop. I mean, this thing is intense. It goes up and around, and yeah, it goes through some pretty ridiculous looking loops around here. But yeah, it certainly does go right next to the general public. That is for sure. And it comes down, and it sits over on the side, and it comes around that corkscrew where everyone dies. And it whips around that part, and then it whips around this part with incredible speed. And it comes down through here. Okay, and it goes through this really smooth-looking helix. Okay, and then that back part maybe comes around there. No, I don't like that at all, I guess. Alright, we'll smooth that, and smooth the banking on that. Yeah, that is taking some incredible game calculations there to even get that to come out as smooth. The coaster design is going really well right now. You know, it didn't turn out exactly like I think it would. It's a little bit more overbearing and a little bit more noticeable than I think I first initially theorized it to be. But it does go over the park. The one part that does bother me is this giant overarch here that literally goes right through the park and adds all of these steel beams everywhere. It isn't the prettiest thing, and it doesn't look super realistic, especially because there's no beam supporting over here. Which I guess isn't the game's fault necessarily. That's more my fault. But yeah, it does look a little bit on the fake side. You guys tell me what you think down below in the comments if you think that section needs to be changed or something, or if I can go through and try to make it different. I'm not even sure how I would do that, and that might have been more of my fault for just trying to directly go through the already existing sections of the park in order to build this. But yeah, that's the main section. This place is certainly a theme park if I've ever seen one, because you have coasters around you literally everywhere you look. I mean, if you go down here, you have a coaster right overhead, and I guess it doesn't actually look that bad if you think about it. I mean, that looks unrealistic, but I mean, as far as watching that go, that doesn't look too bad, because you can sort of follow it wherever you see, and it doesn't look too crazy. Of course, it does go back up and around over there, but yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool indeed. I like it very much. Let's call it done, and then let's take a ride on it. Let's take a ride on this brand new coaster that we just finished putting together over this past little bit here. Let's get this puppy going up. Let's see what happens. All right, I'm going to skip over this part because this isn't the interesting part that everyone wants to see. We all want to see the coaster actually go down and do its thing. All right, here we go. Here we go. All right, on our way down. This is looking a lot more smooth than it was. That's terrifying. All right, that is certainly much more smooth than it was. Oh, that looks beautiful now. I kind of like that, actually. It looks ridiculous, but it's beautiful. Okay, there we go. And lock in for the loop. And come back down next to the park. And we go right over the entry area and into a corkscrew. And we zip around on here. And we zip around the other way. Okay, and we go right next to here. That's a little bit of a sharp corner. Then we go up that helix. And right and around there. Ooh, that's a fun one. And right and around the other way. Oh, that must be tough. We brake, and then we go through the intense roll. And then we sort of go through there. All right, let's actually smooth that out, because that's crazy right there. It has a pretty, I think it has a pretty high average speed, if you ask me. It's pretty great. All right, let's just take a look at it. All right, goes up and around, and through there, and up and there. And up and around, like that. Okay, and it stops, and it drops down, and we get... Okay, so it's a little bit on the not too nauseating side, and it's pretty exciting, and it's pretty scary. So that's good right off the bat. 755. That's not too bad, actually. How are we doing on the track screen rating is still very low. So yeah, we'll certainly have to add to the track scenery to make it a lot better, and we certainly will do that. But yeah, that is the basics of building this coaster that has encircled this entire area. And yeah, tell me what you think. Tell me what you think of this thing, because this is probably kind of controversial. That one side that goes up over there. Is that something we should add? Or is that something we should take out? And next episode, I'll probably before next episode, actually, I'll probably just clean up all this and add all of that fantastic scenery stuff to try to get that track rating up. And then next episode, we will continue and start working on the themed areas. So yeah, that would be fantastic. Apparently, many guests are hungry. We should probably, also just take a nice look at how our staff list is doing. It looks like we still have both our janitors, so that's pretty good. Considering that, we've already had a couple leave us already. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Planet Coaster is always a fun episode to record for me. So if you want to see more, make sure you click that red subscribe button down below. That would be absolutely fantastic. Otherwise, give us a thumb and tell us how we are doing down below, or you can leave a comment in that comment section and just state your opinions very out loud, and you could get your own shout out in these next videos. So yes, thank you all for watching. My name is Steven Marqueteros, and I will see you guys next time.